Hi, it's Frostfire here. So the Mini 3 Pro has been labelled small and affordable, but with the ability to capture high quality footage. But after 1 year's use and new entries to market, is it currently the best drone? To answer this, we'll look at the pros and cons of the Mini 3 Pro and compare it with DJI's previous Mini 2, new budget Mini 3, and new high-end Mavic 3 Classic. Okay, let's go over the pros first.
It's mini, which means small, lightweight, and most importantly, portable. Weighing in at 249 grams, just under the 250 license cutoff. It's pro, which means despite its size, it's able to deliver professional, high-quality imagery. And what helps deliver this is a better sensor at 1/1.3 inches, a 48 megapixel camera, 4K video at 60 FPS, which is great for filming 50% slow-mo in a 4K 30 timeline. And the 4K 30 video is in high quality HDR. Now compare that to the previous Mini 2, which has a 1/2.3 inch sensor, takes 12 megapixel stills, and maxes out at 4K 30 non-HDR. The sensor also supports a dual ISO with direct output of HDR footage, which means reduced blown out highlights and reduced cross shadows. Another major benefit of this drone is the ability to purchase it with the RC controller, coupled with a solid 1080p display, so you can fly without interruption and still have access to your mobile, in turn saving your mobile's battery, adding to the incentive to get your drone out in the first place. A great companion for the Mini 3 Pro.
In terms of image transmission, they've doubled the antennas to 4 in total,
which has the ability to bring you a full HD live feed from up to 12 kilometers away, which holds true if there's no interference or obstructions, i.e. a clear line of sight. Another great feature in today's market is the ability to capture footage in true vertical mode, which is great if you're a content creator who relies on shooting vertical for YouTube Shorts, Instagram Reels, or TikToks.
This also harmonizes well with quick transfer.
Utilizing the DJI Fly app, you simply unfold and turn on the Mini 3 Pro, switch to quick transfer mode on the app. Once connected, simply select your clips and start downloading. You can then upload your clips to your preferred social media.
The Mini 3 Pro also has increased wind resistance.
And during strong winds, it really is jaw-dropping to see it handle these conditions. In terms of bumpy footage, it's more noticeable when trying to film hyperlapses. To reduce this, simply fly the Mini 3 Pro higher off the ground and at a faster speed. There was also a June 2022 firmware update that increased the stability of videos when using hyperlapse.
The tri-directional obstacle sensing uses sensors on the
front, rear, and bottom of the drone. You also have two handy options to bypass or brake in order to avoid obstacles. This leaves the only vulnerabilities on the sides and to a lesser extent on the top. So when performing a dolly or a raise-up move, you should take extra care, especially when close to objects, structures, or terrain.
Now 48 megapixels is a good number, but unless you're using this with a bigger sensor, you're not going to be able to get much out of it.
Still, better images than the average top-end smartphone, not too shabby.
So when the Mini 3 Pro launched back in May 22, it only had 8-bit color depth.
This wasn't great if you wanted to shoot in the D-Cine-like flat profile and color grade your footage in post. But DJI quickly released a firmware update that greatly improved the image quality, including the ability to record in 10-bit color. This color profile, combined with the Pro camera options, such as shutter speed, i.e. dropping it to 1/60 to achieve motion blur in a 4K at 30 timeline, and using ND filters, meant the drone had finally reached its pro potential.
Alongside the 10-bit color firmware update, DJI also added quick shots, master shots, and focus track.
Quick shots gives you 6 different shots: droney, rocket, circle, helix, boomerang, and asteroid. And you can adjust the distance of each for greater versatility. With the exception of asteroid, these can also be shot in portrait mode since the firmware update in June 2022. Master shots gives you roughly 2 minutes of pre-programmed shots, one after the other. You just drag your finger over the person or location, select some parameters, and the drone will fly off and do its thing. Master shots is also now supported in portrait since a firmware update in November 22. Lastly, focus track, which has 3 modes. Spotlight, where the drone stays stationary, spotlights you, so if you move around, the camera will follow. Active track is where the drone follows you, or a vehicle around in open spaces. And point of interest, where you choose a subject in frame, set a direction for the drone to circle and a speed. Now these features are great if you need to get some shots done quickly and don't mind using the auto camera settings, which turn on by default. Now due to the f1.7 aperture, the Mini 3 Pro lets a lot more light in, which provides an opportunity to capture better footage at night. Now this isn't going to beat something like the Mavic 3 Classic, but for a small drone with a small camera, it's pretty impressive. DJI also optimized the image quality of recordings at night in D-Cine-like in the June 2022 update.
Lastly, one of the more important pros is keeping a low profile.
At just 249 grams, looking like a small toy and being one of the quietest drones, it gives you the ability to keep a low profile while capturing footage. And it makes the overall experience of flying this drone more relaxing, which puts you in a better mental state to capture better footage. As such, you're more likely to take it with you to get those unique perspectives more often.
Next, let's take a look at the cons.
So after many recharges, I was never able to reach the claimed 34-minute battery life for the standard battery. In real-world tests with light winds, I averaged around 20 to 25 minutes. And in max wind or category 5 wind conditions, I was unable to get more than 15 to 20 minutes. Of course, you can go for the larger battery with a claimed battery life of 47 minutes, but not much point as it puts you over the 250 gram license cutoff, defeating one of the main reasons of getting this drone in the first place. A better way to overcome this is to get the Mini 3 Pro Fly More kit, retailing for 259 AUD, which comes with 2 additional standard size batteries, a 2-way charging hub, which is great for queuing up multiple batteries overnight as the batteries charge sequentially. And 1 year later, I've experienced no degradation to the batteries. A USB-C charging cable to use with the hub, 2 sets of spare propellers, which are great in case you crash, get some damage, and need to swap them out. And the carry case, which has received some criticism, but it's more than adequate in carrying your drone, controller, charge hub and spare batteries, cables, propellers, etc. There's even a handy zip on the front for your ND filters, an essential accessory in my opinion.
So not surprisingly, as the Mini 3 Pro is small,
it has to do a lot more work when flying into strong winds, as well as remaining stable in these conditions. So if you find yourself needing to do a lot of filming in very windy areas, the Mini 3 Pro might not be the best choice. Due to its small sensor, it's not well suited for high-end projects like big budget commercials, documentaries, for viewing on bigger screens. But if you're filming smaller, low budget commercials, travel blogs, or anything social media based, where it's being viewed on a smaller screen, then the Mini 3 Pro is the better choice.
As regular capture, DJI drones are in a class well ahead of their competitors. Let's compare the Mini 3 Pro with the Mini 3 and the Mavic 3 Classic.
Now I've touched on the Mini 3 Pro here already, and in terms of form factor, the Mini 3 is very similar, coming in at 249 grams with the standard battery. The Mavic 3 Classic, being 3.5 times as heavy at 895 grams, requires a small case or bag to carry. A win for the Mini 3 Pro and Mini 3.
Next, video and photo capture, which is a no contest.
As the 5.1K at 50 FPS, much bigger 4/3 CMOS sensor, and the Hasselblad color gamut produce stunning video and stills. A win for the Mavic 3 Classic.
Now, even though the Mavic 3 Classic has 2 additional color profiles, hybrid log gamma and D-log,
hybrid log gamma produces saturated colors with good shadows and high detail. However, it's not a flat profile, and whether you like it is really down to personal preference. D-log, on the other hand, is the Mavic 3 Classic's flat profile, which you would use to get the most shadow, highlight, and color data to work with in post, assuming you're willing to do the work. The Mini 3 Pro's equivalent, D-Cine-like, also allows you to shoot flat and get the most data out of the image in post-production. The Mini 3 only has the normal profile, which you wouldn't use for color grading. A win for the Mini 3 Pro and Mavic 3 Classic.
The Mavic 3 Classic is unsurprisingly best in this category
due to its bigger size battery and superior weight, making it naturally more stable, therefore requiring less battery power to maintain hover and fly in strong winds. Next, the Mini 3 with a slightly better battery and stability than the Mini 3 Pro. This is partly due to its better designed landing legs. Nonetheless, a win for the Mavic 3 Classic. With the omnidirectional binocular vision system, supplemented with an infrared sensor on the bottom, the Mavic 3 Classic has the best overall sensors. The Mini 3 Pro also gives reasonable coverage, with its only weaknesses being at the side and top. The Mini 3 sensors are very limited with only a downward vision system, not great if you're just starting out and are a little nervous flying your drone. Another win for the Mavic 3 Classic.
Now, one good thing about the smaller drones
is that they have the option to shoot in true vertical, as opposed to the Mavic 3 Classic, which you would have to shoot in horizontal and then crop in to get your desired frame and pixel count in post. The Mavic 3 Classic's adjustable gimbal tilt range is also limited compared to the smaller drones. A win for the Mini 3 Pro and Mini 3.
More antennas and a better video transmission system reduces the chances of the feed cutting out, which can make or break a shot.
And this is consistently better on the Mini 3 Pro and Mavic 3 Classic, having double the antennas, a more advanced VTS, and a much lower latency. A win for the Mini 3 Pro and Mavic 3 Classic.
Now, one of the great advantages of the Mini 3 Pro is its low pitch and light hum at takeoff,
which then goes silent at approximately 50 meters altitude. The Mini 3 is very similar with only a slight difference in pitch. And although the Mavic 3 Classic is better than most for its size, in terms of pitch it's moderately loud at takeoff and is still audible at 50 meters altitude. A win for the Mini 3 Pro and Mini 3.
Now, bigger drones that are 250 grams plus
require registration and licensing, which can take time and lead to a more anxious experience, especially for beginners. As the smaller drones only weigh 249 grams, a win for the Mini 3 Pro and Mini 3.
Finally, price.
The Mavic 3 Classic is quite expensive, coming in at 2399 AUD, compared to the cheaper Mini 3 Pro at 1119, and even more budget friendly, the Mini 3 at 829. A win for the Mini 3.
The Mini 3 Pro edging the Mini 3 and the Mavic 3 Classic in this quick comparative test. The Mini 3 Pro is so small it fits in your pocket. It's also very light, dodging any licensing concerns, and is inaudible from the ground at approximately 50 meters. A 4.5 here. You can capture photos and footage in true vertical mode, which saves you time in post. It has solid transmission and tracking with the 4 antennas, and has a decent D-Cine-like flat profile, so you can color grade your footage in post. A 4 here. Now, due to its small sensor, it's not well suited for high-end projects. The battery life also isn't great, with 25 minutes in light winds and 20 minutes in strong. But if you've got some spare cash, it can be easily countered with the Fly More kit, a 3.5 here. The Mini 3 Pro comes in at 1,119 AUD, which is a sizey chunk of cash for something you could lose or crash in just one flying mistake. But compared to some of the unique perspectives and footage you get in return, it's pretty good value. A 4 here. Comparatively, if you're an experienced flyer doing high-end projects, then you're better suited to the Mavic 3 Classic. Or if you're on a budget and you're not worried about impact avoidance sensors, then the Mini 3 is a worthy contender. But if you want the best of both worlds, something discreet, reasonably priced, that shoots in a flat profile, that you can color grade for professional imagery on phones, tablets, and monitors, then the Mini 3 Pro 1 year later is the best drone on the market.
Thanks for watching. Appreciate any feedback in the comments. Until next time.